My dear students, I hope some of the students are there. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I welcome to my session. I thank the management for giving me the opportunity to share my experience. I was just listening previously to the session with respect to that madam who shared. I thought it will be overlapping, but then I'm not going to explain about the applications or any methodology in detail, as my title is actually research directions in machine learning. So I will be sharing few of the things. So how I actually, categorized my session is actually concentrated on how the ML was there, past and the current and future. Like that, it is segregated. So PPT, I may be stopping it after 5 minutes because many of you joined in mobile. I know I didn't want to, burden you people to see the PPT as well as to listen to my lecture. I'm just giving my pictorial actually agenda for today's session. So let me share what are all the things I'm going to discuss about. There are four directions in general methodology point of view. ML is actually it is classified into four things. One is improving classification accuracy by learning ensembles of classifiers, then the methods for scaling up supervised learning algorithms. Other thing is reinforcement learning. Then the learning complex stochastic models. So the in general ML is actually broken into five different steps. There is no formal steps actually we can generally we can say. So the step one is actually we need to have a mindset or a belief ML can practice and apply into any particular things. So we have to pick a process. That means we have to actually identify the problem. So my sessions, especially, I'm focusing on various problems which was there and which is currently happening and which will be actually, going to happen. How this ML can effectively give solution for the societal problem. More into healthcare, since my research is actually into medical research. So we need to actually pick a research tool for implementing the machine learning algorithm. And also we have to apply these ML algorithms on the data set. We will be generally splitting the data set into training samples and the test sample. Preferably, we have to use the same data set for testing as well as for the training, build a portfolio for that. So these are all the steps where you have to actually keep it in your mind while doing the ML related project. And the broader sense, you have to have a data. So data should be collected or you can actually download it from any repository. You have to prepare your data for the classification or the clustering, implementing the ML, because there may be a lot of noise, inconsistent, and incompatibility will be there. Where we can choose a ML model and train our model and evaluate the model and finally tune the parameters and make the predictions. Then, I was listening to the talk. A few of our participants were asking what is ML, in what way AI is different from ML. Many of us we know that. Again, I thought it is a quick revamp on what is ML, AL, AI and DL, because many times we also give the same things. AI means ML, ML means AI, or maybe layman point of view, everybody may say that it is artificial intelligence. Machine learning is actually which is used in the artificial intelligence as well as in analytics and data science. There are three different types of machine learning is there, as we all know: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. And some of you were asking about what is meant by data science, what is meant by ML and AL. I'll be focusing those things also. What exactly machine learning is? Actually, machine learning is an application of AI which provides the system ability to learn by itself. That is the things, and improve from the experience. It will improve from the past experience without being explicitly programmed. So machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs which can access the data and use it to learn for themselves. Okay, so the learning by doing things, learning by experience, all those things, actually it is a part of the learning algorithm which mainly the machine learning will focus. One more important part of machine learning is who is important. Maybe if I ask you people, you may say that machine is important. Is it the machine alone is important, or we are not part of the things? The most important thing is actually not the machine, it's the people. It's we are the one going to implement it. And little bit basics about the AI is actually which mimics the human behavior. So AI technique is enables the machine to mimic the human behavior, and machine learning is since the subset of the AI which uses the statistical method, or I can say the mathematical method to enable machine to improve with experience. So whenever we are actually thinking about improving the human behavior, we will be actually always thinking about ML to use it. And deep learning is actually the same family of machine learning. So subset of machine learning, we say it is a deep learning. But in what way deep learning is different or similar to machine learning? If you add on a neural networks, multi-layer neural networks into actually for the large data set. As we all know that AI is the umbrella discipline that ma'am also told, which covers everything related to making machine to become smarter and smarter. So when we are thinking about the smart devices or intelligent system to be developed, we need to think about implementing the artificial intelligence algorithms. Machine learning refers to an AI system which can self-learn based on the algorithms. There are many popular algorithms are there like naive Bayes, KNN, K-means, random forest, decision tree, etc., etc. You might have heard about. So those algorithms which will be used in the system, which get smarter and smarter over a time without a human intervention, is called ML, or you can say it is the machine learning. So deep learning is a machine learning applied to a large data set. Now, will show two pictorial representation of my applications or the directions where we need to focus as a researcher or academicians, where we can improvise or where we can apply our machine learning algorithm to give a societal problem. One thing is actually coming to my mind is always the healthcare, because I'm passionate about using the health data and trying to understand and solve many societal problems. So electronic health record is a major problem. Here we need to focus for the privacy, security, even treatment planning, how the data is available, and flexible enough to rely on those particular data. All those things we will be discussing about. Disease identification and diagnosis is one of the applications in which where ML can be used. Robotic patient support task, personalized medicine, that is called customized medicine, medical imaging diagnosis, robotic surgery. So then other thing is actually the past, maybe past means 10 to 15 years before, these are all the projects, or maybe I can say research based ML projects are implemented. So we are enjoying the benefit of spam mail classification, because none of us, we actually manually categorize the spam mail. What we will do is actually as soon as the mail comes, the unauthorized mails will be going into spam, right? So sometimes we use it to see, and if one or two mails, important mail is there, we will be taking it. So automatic classification of spam mail classification is actually improved like anything with the help of the machine learning. So the transportation, even in the transportation field, identifying the object and improvising the time, and predicting the time slot to reach the destination, all those things ML is used. Online shopping and the recommendation system, as you all know, we are very curiously and enjoying the online shopping during, even though in this pandemic. Recommendation system means when you buy a product, or when you search a product, you will be getting the items also purchased. So these are all the patterns we use it to see as the end user. Those kind of a patterns can be discovered with respect to machine learning using the a priori algorithm or FE growth. These things you might have studied in data mining itself. Fraud detection, especially with respect to online fraud. Sorry, 1 minute. So in online, there are a lot of fraud which is getting, everyday life, day-to-day life. So it is actually very, very important to know about the risk level associated with the fraud, whether to accept it or not. And then the robotic surgery, what I was mentioning about in the healthcare, spine surgery was actually done with respect to robotic. You may be thinking, ma'am is actually used to discuss only about the directions for the ML. But the robotic surgery, in what way it is? ML is used in the robotics for the efficient usage of the surgery for the surgeon, that we will be discussing in detail. Then the next thing is, second, I hope my video is also on. Maybe I thought I will just show my face, then maybe mute myself so that the bandwidth problem won't be there. Not able to move my screen. 1 second. Because I think since it is a video, I stop my video. Fine. I hope my slide is getting changed. Sir, can I get the confirmation from one of you? Yes, yeah.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, a machine learning approach to define anti-malarial drug action from heterogeneous cell-based screen. We will be discussing about, the drug discovery as well as the drug delivery, which is actually considered as the important component in this pandemic situations. The way in this pictorial representation, how this deep learning and machine learning and AI is actually, which is used as the part of the delivery project, and mainly which is using the imaging also, the data, most of the data is imaging data, which is used to make predictions. And intelligent gaming, as we know that actually people are trying to entertain themselves in the online mode, because they cannot go out. Even the ML can actually improvise the intelligence capability effectively. They can make use of this gaming feature. Self-driving car that ma'am was talking about, we can use ML to improvise the efficiency of the operations with respect to the self-driving car and drone and other things. Even the medical support, the caretaker job, enhanced caretaker job can be given with respect to um, robotics, and ML is used in the robotics to do these kind of a day-to-day activities. Personalized digital media, again machine learning is used. Home automation system, also machine learning is used, integrated with IoT and cloud, where we need to actually look into the interdisciplinary point of view, so that everything whatever we do, we actually automate that becomes the smart home. And streamlined logistic and distributions, so we use the machine learning to do the logistic as well as to the distribution of the things. And digital personal assistant, as we know that many places actually it is online personal assistant is available to help us to make a decisions. ML is actually used to do that. And in future, actually, one interesting things I found from Google. uh, Chef Dean is actually the senior research scientist in, and he is also the lead for the Google Brain project. Okay, so his dream is actually, he was talking about the holy grail of machine learning. This pictorial representation is actually, which is considered as the holy grail of machine learning. This is actually a multi functionality of the task model. When I say multi-model, nowadays people are moving from the specific problem to the multiple problem. If we try to develop a ML based model or algorithms, which can actually give us solutions for more than one particular problem, that's what actually a multifunction algorithms. So with this, I think I will stop, and I will be going about, I will stop the sharing, then I will continue my directions. I hope I have stopped my screen, sir.
Yes, madam.
Yes. So let me actually quickly introduce the machine learning with respect to the societal point of view, how the directions, because since I told you there are three directions: past, present, and the future. In today's time, it has become important for a machine to give the fastest and reliable result to cope up with the speed of ever-changing world. We all know that. So machines are given a machine learning model to look upon and replicate the result. So validating the stability of our machine learning model is always necessary. We cannot just fit the model to our training data as well as the test data and expect it to perform correctly with the real data. It never seen before, because we need to actually assurance our model has correctly identified majority of the patterns in the data, and it is not very sensitive to noise, and that it has low bias and variance. So these are all the things actually we have to give assurance. When we are working on machine learning task, we must also first identify the problem, as it is very, very essential. So I will be majorly focusing on the problems rather than the solutions, in order to select most appropriate algorithms which will give us the best result. That will come only whether this algorithm is appropriate or not. By doing things, by experimenting the ML algorithms, we will come to know, as well as the survey. One technique to achieve the best result is to test the model on the same data set that we used for training. So although this might be very helpful, so machine learning is a concept that has gained immense popularity in the past few years and continue to do so in the field of data science, because in data science field we do future engineering, we do the lot of data collection, we try to actually remove the deadness of the data, we do exploratory data and the descriptive data analysis, we do data visualizations. For doing these kind of a functionality of the data science, machine learning algorithms are actually which is used to implement and give effective outcome of that. So machine learning is actually which is described as the subset of the AI, as we know that, which is used to provide the ability to automatically learn from the data and improve from experience without being directly apply any programming to do that. So basically it involves training the computers on available data using an ML algorithm to create a model. So, as well as it is used to apply previously used unseen data to make predictions. So, historical data is used to make the predictions. So, many of us might be knowing or might not be aware that the ML is quietly making a significant impact on our day to day life. I hope everybody may accept this. It is actually quietly doing lot many impact, social impact on our day to day life, thus making our everyday living hassle free. I hope maybe all of you may accept. So I will be giving few penetrated everyday life, a few examples. One is the spam mail detection. What I had shown, this is actually a no big deal for actually having the email ID, because whenever we log into our email ID, there is a folder always available in the sidebar. You might have seen in the spam, which contains all the unwanted mails, and all those mails in the spam folder are not shifted manually from the inbox by the user. Imagine yourself, you will be getting thousands and thousands of unwanted mails every day or maybe hourly basis. This is done automatically with the help of machine learning algorithm. This is an enormous actually, even though this is considered as a very simple task, but it is beautifully actually classified whether it is a wanted mail or unwanted mail, and automatically it will go and fit into the spam box. So variety of algorithms which is used, mention a few. Naive Bayes, KNN, and random forest are used for spam filtering. Some of you might have used as the academic project. Very simple application, but yet it is very effective use of machine learning capability. Out of many abilities of machine learning, detecting the fraud email is one of the simplest but yet effective ways. So we can think how this machine learning is actually doing a lot of wonder for our day-to-day life. One is actually a spam mail classification. Another thing is everybody we need to think our life. Life is changed like anything because maybe of search engines, we can say. So when we studied maybe 2 decades before, if you see the academic institute or maybe the student life, the teacher life, there is no PPT, there is no internet was available, but still everything was going fine with book and library and as well as other things. Now, ask anything, people will think they will go and Google it and find out what is there, what is correct, what is not correct. How the search engine like Google, Yahoo, and Ping are really doing well. So, whenever we are looking for any kind of answer to queries, we first will think about the search engines, and especially our machine learning is actually which is applied. How it is applied, we will see. So, when we press the enter, write the query and enter, we are provided with a plethora of links that are relevant to our queries, whatever queries we write. So we will get lot of link. So how do these kind of a search engine come to know we are looking for what? Again, the power of ML is getting harnessed for this purpose. So machine learning is actually used for getting the right things for the right time and right questions. So using this algorithms like natural language processing, deep learning, TensorFlow, these kind of things is actually decipher the machine of search query and make sure that most relevant result is actually the high quality result are shown on the topmost. So generally we will be seeing only the topmost link, right? We will be hitting hundreds of link, but none of us we will go and check all those links, right? We will be actually seeing only the first few, maybe because high relevance will be there, similarity will be there. The concept of actually a rank brain algorithm is actually used by the Google. So Google uses this as the machine learning model for predicting the searches. It uses to find a connection between the searcher as well as the user. So now it came to my mind when I searched what is meant by rank brain. I thought I should actually, when it comes to the existence, it came in October 26th on 2015 itself. Rank brain is the component of the Google core algorithm which uses the machine learning to determine the most relevant result to search engine queries. So there are three categories are there: pre-rank brain and post-rank brain. Pre-rank brain is actually which is used to utilize the basic algorithm to determine which result to show for a given query. Post thing is actually used to believe that the query now goes through the interpretation model which can be applied for possible factors like the location of the search, personalization, and then the words of the query to determine the search with respect to the true intent. So by discriminating this true intent, Google can deliver more relevant result. So many of us, we will be using Google for actually getting our uh, content, or maybe searching or doing research or getting some details. Since because this rank brain is actually, working on pre-rank and the post-rank rank brain. So we are actually trying to work on more relevant result. So the ML aspect of rank brain is what set it part of the other updates to teach as well as to use these things. First, it feeds the data from a variety of sources because the data is considered as one of the main important component in the machine learning process. So once you get the data, then only you can actually prepare your data for your analysis. Then you select the tool and then you select the algorithm for the implementation. So the third example, the ML is used in the particular field is actually the transportation field. So most of us are well versed with the traveling via cabs that can be booked through mobile applications or maybe web applications such as Uber, Ola is there. These two things are very very popular. So I was just reading about the Uber model, but I'm not going to explain about the Uber model. But what is the concept which is used? All these applications harness the power of machine learning. When we book a cab, the machine learning algorithm in place to make sure that the driver is actually nearby our location, or the one going to travel on the same route. But we see, when we are actually going for the pooling same route as our destination, they will pick up us, right? Like that. Okay. So, and not just ML is utilized to provide, ML is also used to get the fastest route for our destination based on the traffic jam or maybe the ongoing constructions or any other disruptive things. Okay, on the way, any kind of obstructions are there, possible obstructions are there, which will find out on the way to our destination. So because of that, which is giving a correct predictions how long it will take to reach that particular place. So people are planning accordingly and trying to reach that particular locations now. So Google Map is actually a best example. So the role of ML is actually used to provide the fastest route prediction as well as actually to get the nearest location. The driver is actually nearest driver will be getting the chance, or the pooling concept, whoever is actually traveling on the way will be actually allocated for us. And also in the transportation, managing the traffic management is one important task with respect to the machine learning, which highly influences in the transportation with the help of image detection techniques. Imaging is used actually 15 to 20 years before it was very, very popular. Machine learning has already shown its potential in an automated or self-driving car. It can take care of engine safety by collecting data as well as predicting the health of the engine. So one wants to know about the engine health. Based on that, he can decide which kind of a vehicle can be given. Also, it can manage the passengers safety. So it can ensure that the passengers are actually, traveling safely. So then, yes, somebody is asking something. Traffic sign detection for better traffic management is also one of the tasks under the traffic management with respect to the ML. Another thing is actually the online recommendation systems. Online recommendation systems are, you call it as the online recommendation engines. Thanks to the advent of internet and rapid advancement which has been made in this field ever since, we have to have a variety of sources of entertainment to access it, especially with respect to this pandemic situations. People are into YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, and you might have heard about the films are getting launched, new films are getting launched into OTT. So we have actually done the survey on the impact of OTT in the, during pandemic situations. Most of the film industry, their new products are getting launched into OTT platforms. Netflix and Amazon Primes are an excellent medium in which where it is actually the channel is the media is actually slowly migrated into that. So the role of actually using ML is actually, it is an enormous role which is playing. And one more important things, many of you people may be using this Spotify, right? The application, mobile application. It is actually considered the audio streaming.
Ma'am, your
Yes.
screen is not visible, ma'am.
I am not presenting anything. I am actually speaking. That's what I told um,
Okay, ma'am.
about the application, because I had already shown the pictorial representation, whatever I wanted to share. Because since it is the research directions, and I thought I will be, sharing some of the things, whichever possible was the past and the current and the future. So whatever we are discussing is what the ML has already implemented in these areas. Right, I'm not sharing anything. Maybe I can unmute my video, maybe later stage, because of the bandwidth issue. That is the
And can
things.
you talk about some algorithms in surgical
Yes,
robotics?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will come to that. I will come to that. Yes. So ML
Thank you.
has also influences in online recommendations. So one common thing among all, it is the recommendation engines which provides the user with the suggestions is a similar product, or people who bought also bought this. So do you want to buy? So these are all actually a common patterns where we can actually try to discover. Here maybe you can ask a similar product or frequent pattern mining. All these things are actually a priori and FE growth algorithms are used. It is possible because of machine learning only these recommendation. Again, we need to thanks to machine learning algorithm to get such kind of a recommendation, because many times we grab that recommendation and we use those kind of a product which is actually recommended for us, either maybe Amazon or Flipkart or whatever it is. Because many of us, because our day-to-day lifestyle is actually, it is changed, and we don't have time to search even for what kind of a products are there. So when we buy one particular product, if I get any kind of a recommendations, I will go for at least one or two product which is recommended by the systems. Many of us, we might have that kind of a habit. So these are all actually the role of machine learning which has already reached. All these online companies are providing such kind of a services to store the data, to provide past, and with the help of the historical data, whoever is actually trying to buy, based on these history they make the recommendations. These are all actually which is captured by our behavior and the preferences. So, and last things for the past one is actually a fraud detections, fraud transactions especially. Now there are millions of transactions are there everyday life. There's always a lot of chances are there to get into fraudulent event. So it is not possible for the employees to manually check the each and every transactions, which is actually a regular transactions and which one is actually the suspicious transactions. To categorize fraudulent transactions, the ML is used. So ML comes into the savior here for both user as well as for the banker. The ML algorithm also get the location of the data and the customer and even the devices used for the transactions to detect whether a fraudulent transaction is being made, and issues is warning messages to the customers either through message or maybe through mail. So or sometimes it may be we may be getting it through both also. See, whenever I try to do a transactions, I get a mail as well as a messages. So immediately we will just check whether we have done the transactions or anybody has done the transaction. The notification will come. These are all the things are actually which machine learning is actually haunts the business world. So the current state, now we will move on to the current status of the science in machine learning methods. A few examples, few research I just wanted to share it with you people. I come across in my literature automatic infant pain evaluation using facial expressions. I was just referring, one of my researcher also have done pain detection systems in real-time healthcare environment, but she used image algebra as well as the machine learning. What she did is actually she captured her family members data, took a video as well as the um, open source data, and she cut into frames, and she has done some implementation with respect to machine learning, and it is recognized whether the pain is very severe or the pain is very less. Like that, the categorization was there based on that, because see, we need to think about the people, those who have got admitted in ICU, not able to actually speak, so not able to tell what kind of a pain they are undergoing. It is equally the infants are actually not in a position to share their pain. So it is actually important to think about their pain and as well as the experience. So what they actually, the researcher from, I think, Bangladesh researcher, I could not remember the author name, he actually proposed machine learning based algorithms. The biggest challenge is actually the good infant pain control is the main objective of the pain assessment, but he has done with respect to the machine learning methods for automatic infant pain assessment. He did not mention about any kind of an algorithms. He proposed an architecture, but it was a survey papers. Many of these machine learning algorithms actually he tried rather which gave a satisfactory performance, and have demonstrated a good potential to be further enhanced. So there are a lot of scope is there here, because the accuracy for identifying the pain is actually reached average 65 percentage only, not more than that. But in these people actually they improvised till 80 percentage. But now always there is a scope for us to implement. Maybe those who are doing research in the machine learning, you can always think about the severity level of the pain, or the detection of a pain and the classification of the pain using machine learning methods can be applied. Okay, so the few other applications of machine learning in healthcare is the current scenario. Machine learning can be positively impact patient care delivery. That is very, very important, because we need to find out the strategies, for example, which can clinicians can identify, diagnose, and treat diseases. Applications of machine learning in healthcare can also streamline certain tasks and optimize surgery planning, preparation, and execution. Now, some of the examples I will be discussing about whatever I had shown the pictorial representation as the disease identification and diagnosis. Disease identification and diagnosis, actually, machine learning algorithms can detect patterns associated with the data as well as with the diseases and based on the health conditions. By studying thousands of healthcare record and other patient data, the recent development in ML can help increase in healthcare, which actually assess in developing the countries and to innovate cancer diagnosis and treatment. So if I have to refer one survey here, according to MIT, because entrepreneur report, when I have actually gone through that, it is an excellent information what I thought I should share it with you people. Entrepreneur report, a deep learning based prediction model developed at the MIT can predict breast cancer development years in advance. But additionally, according to the AMA journal ethics articles, the AI application in healthcare can now diagnose the skin cancer more accurately than the certified dermatologist. See how ML is actually, see, ML can diagnose the skin cancer more accurately than the certified medical practitioner. This is actually according to the journal AMA journal of ethics articles, which is actually given as AI application in healthcare. The article also pointed some of the points in machine learning. Machine learning provides the additional benefits like increasing the speed, increasing the efficiency with respect to the shorter time, reducing the time frame, and also training the algorithms versus the human. So which found that ML algorithm is actually better than the human, but we cannot replace the human. We can only provide as the assistant. So medical imaging diagnosis, CT scan, MRI scan, and EEG, dermatoscopic images, and other histopathological images. There are a lot of imaging technologies offering high resolution as well as going through a megapixels and data, which can actually challenge even experienced radiologist and pathologist. So it is very, very important that we need to actually think about how to handle it or how to provide assistance to those kind of radiologist and pathologist. I just wanted to give here, we have actually, I think in the last FDP, I have shared my research. That's why mathematically and algorithm based I'm not going, but I wanted to mention here sudden cardiac arrest. We worked with MRI images, and actually we could actually analyze the severity level of the cardiac attack. If we are actually delaying for the heart patient, over a period, the tissue will get formed. So the volume calculation actually we have automated. Recently, we discussed with one professor in US, state of Memphis University, as well as we discussed with the two cardiologists in USA. They accepted our work, and we are going to collaborate with those people and publish the final work in one popular journal called JAMA. That is actually a journal of American medical journal, which has actually a 12 point as the impact factor. But I hope our paper get because they accepted our work is actually a very unique work, and which is not even implemented country like US. So many of us, we may be expert in ML algorithms and many algorithms. Maybe we can think of picking these kind of problems, implementing and giving the societal solution to the real time life. So ML has demonstrated its value in helping clinical professions as well as to the productivity, the precision. So we need to think about how to provide precision agriculture, how to provide precision medicine. Precision medicine is actually the customized medicine where the machine learning in medical imaging include, one is identifying the cardiovascular abnormalities as well as detecting the musculoskeletal injuries and screening for the concerns. So robotic surgery, I think one sir was asking about the robotic surgery. ML can use real-time data information from previous successful surgeries, because how the machine learning is actually learning by doing certain things, right? So past medical records will be there where we have to actually refer that, or we have to feed those things as the data to improve the accuracy of the surgical robotic tools. The benefits include reduced human error and aid during more complex procedures, because so that we can make it as less invasive surgeries. So for example, robot can precisely conduct operations to unclog blood vessels and even aid in spine surgery. I had shown one picture. Surgical robotics can also offer more than mechanist assistance to surgeons by planning workflow as well as for executions for the surgical procedures, because they need to plan for the surgery. They can make an effective plan with the help of the machine learning. So now we will see how this robotic patient support is actually it is provided. Robots can help the augmented patient abilities directly. So, for example, helping paralyzed patient regain walking ability and performing tasks such as taking blood pressure and providing medications reminder to patient. Robot can even provide companionships to sick and older patients. So it is like somebody is alone, senior citizens are alone. They may be actually going for actually a pet or keeping some caretaker. Now they can it is implemented country like US and UK, but it comes to, when it comes to a country like us, it may take another 5 to 10 years. But what is our role? Maybe we can think how we can make these kind of a technology, being an engineer, so many engineers are there, researchers are there, how to make it actually cheaper or affordable to the common public. Because in a country like our country is actually many of the people are below average family income. Actually, if I say that middle class family population is actually, most of the people are below middle class family, so it should reach to that particular things. So I was actually into precision agriculture and precision medicine using a genomics. and we could not actually implement the algorithms. But our idea is that there are a lot of gap is there between ML AI in genomics. I also openly actually challenged a few people last year and asked for the collaboration. Again, I'm actually asking for the collaboration. If anybody is interested, we can collaborate institute to institute and try to do the joint publications. So we are actually trying to implement machine learning algorithm into genomics to bring out. One thing is to the time taken to analyze that, because it is taking a lot of time and the cost involved, but we don't know how do we achieve that particular process because it is there in the infant stage. So precision medicine is actually, it is a very, very, very important task, because, and you all know, in this COVID pandemic, people are talking about wave 1 and wave 2 and again wave 3. Yes, today morning I was listening Delta virus. They said it is found in India, and then now they are saying that it is not found in India. It is found in some other country, and Delta plus, they are saying 5 Delta plus viruses. It is evolved. Delta is evolved into new evolution, genetically modified, and it is into Delta plus. And then again, the effectiveness is actually, it is measured. No, why don't we think of actually identifying the severity and the effectiveness? Because even in RT-PCR test, people are not in a position to identify whether the particular person is affected with the COVID or not. And the symptom is also, it is actually the virus itself, it is novel, it is changing its evolution like anything. There is no symptoms, nothing is actually, it is getting affected for the patient for 10 years or 10 days or 15 days. So over a period, it will show, it will actually occupy the lungs and then show the severity, because after spreading into many things, that itself, it is actually novelty is there. But then these things are actually, it is rectified somehow when they are going for CT scan and other things. It is not that everybody can go into CT scan. Now we need to think. I was thinking about 1 year before how we can use genetics, for identifying this. But again, how I think it is possible, but it is not possible for all kind of a population to use genome analysis for doing the testing, because of the cost as well as because of the time taken to analyze certain things. So a health practitioner, the doctors, does not have sufficient time in a day to analyze all these kind of a data to provide precision medicine to the patient. However, we can give it to the hand of the machine learning algorithms with its ability to leverage big data as well as the predictive analytics, which creates the opportunity for the researcher to develop a personalized treatment for various diseases like cancer, depression. As few of my researcher, two of my PhD scholars are doing with respect to lung cancer, because the problem with the lung cancer is lungs is considered as one of the respiratory system, and heart is near to the lungs. These two are neighbors. There are a lot of disturbance, because when we breathe and when we just stop the breathing while taking the testing, even that movement will be considered as the cancer. How to avoid is because the X-ray itself, the X-ray or maybe the CT scan or PET CT scan is the hybrid system which is used in the medical field, in medical practitioner point of view. But we are actually trying to use so many machine learning algorithms to prepare our data and to classify also. And we are also equally using the EEG data to analyze the stress level of the health workers as well as the university people, the academicians, the students in the pandemic situations, how they are stressed for doing their academic activities. So the improvement to healthcare efficiency, patient care delivery system is needed. So ML can provide, and come with ethical concern is also a major issues. So where we can make use of machine learning to, avoid these kind of illegal things. So sharing the patient information, actually we can't stop it, because it is really a concern with the patient confidentiality. According to the law, federal law or other law restricting the medical informations as well as the informed consent, all have to do is the sharing the patient information. But the basics of the machine learning is the data. The effectiveness is actually depending on the data. Still, privacy and the confidentiality is actually a major problem. How to protect patient information from the vulnerabilities, such as the data breach. When someone was asking about the data breach to that particular thing. So we can use machine learning algorithm to avoid these kind of a data breach. So why don't we, it is not actually reached to the maximum level or 100% safety is there. There are average accuracy maybe 60 to 70% people have done, but still there are many problems are there with respect to the vulnerabilities with respect to the medical data. How to provide the patient autonomy? This is a one real systems, or maybe I can say applications. These are all actually a future what I'm talking about. Patient autonomy is an issue. Also, it is exist right now because many older people as well as the psychiatric patients are incapable of making healthcare decisions independently. So, such kind of a people, machine learning can connect data from electronic health record and other medical sources to help with critical decisions in these circumstances. So, that is actually one field in ML is used in the patient autonomy. An automated process should not be fully replace the patient autonomy. Here, ML could become a valuable tool with aids in medical decision making, also provides the safety and the efficient outcomes for the patient. The quality of the data, again, it depends. So we need to think about the quality of the data has to be input in the machine learning algorithms and determines the reliability of the output. Another concern is actually the damaged data because most of the data is actually it is the corrupted data is that which can lead to a lack of cultural competency. For example, cultural competency means under a minority population. For example, when I am checking with the 10, especially
Ma'am, can
with
I ask one question?
yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Because you are just talking about the health part, so I think it is relevant to ask here itself.
Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
have you done anything related to asthma patient? Because I'm Dr. Atul Bhargav,
Yes,
working
sir.
on asthma.
Yes, sir.
So how
Yes, sir.
ML can be used in the diagnosis and the treatment of asthma management?
I am
That is
currently
my
working
question.
with respiratory issues. We are actually we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
trying to identify the abnormalities in the respiratory systems as well as trying to find out the cancers in the lungs. So how ML is used means because we have not reached to the final stage, we are using actually the pre-processing methods. Are we are applying for PET and CT combined fusioning we are doing, sir, combination with the PET as well as with the CT algorithms. We are trying to use the pre-processing methods to extract those portions. So see, you know that you are the senior researcher. We can't actually say that which algorithm is best. See, when you ask, there are lot of top, top hundreds and hundreds of algorithm is there. Name a few, maybe naive Bayes, I can say it is best. See, I have, and I can say decision tree. It is working because one of our researcher did with respect to brain tumor classification. Finally, she for doing that and she used only that in between one step is K means. People asked K means is a very basic. So it is a hybrid approach. Approach is the one we need to think about because if we think about one particular algorithm which 9.5 because in the industry one of my friend is working in Siemens healthcare related things and she is purposely into AI based optimization of the algorithms. The client won't compensate 100%. We need to provide 100% accuracy in the diagnosis. Say that we should go for actually using the integrated approach or for the customized approach. So it will vary from one application. Your question, sir?
Thank
Sir?
you,
Hello,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Very informative lecture, ma'am. Actually, I have two questions.
Thank you, sir.
The first one is the
Yes, sir.
23 parameters are there.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
The problem is that the problem is I'm unable to classify using. We are unable to find out. So
you are very particular about deep learning algorithm, neural networks, or maybe k-means clustering or KNN or naive-Bayes or random forest, in fact,
also, ma'am, we tried that one. Random forest also.
or ensemble method.
Actually, it failed for that particular data set, which is approved. I mean, as a
And which will be working good for the small data. Did you try for
we tried,
SVM?
ma'am. We tried.
Okay.
Actually, because
You can replicate